I want you to picture this right now. Two apartments, same city, same neighborhood, identical rent. Walk into the first one, owned by someone earning $95,000 a year. Boom, a massive 75-inch TV dominates the wall like a throne. A $4,000 leather sectional claims the center of the room. The kitchen is stuffed with premium appliances, most still sealed in their original boxes. Closets explode with clothes, tags still swinging from sleeves never worn. The spare bedroom? It's nothing but a storage tomb for items untouched for years. This person opens their banking app and feels that sick knot twist in their stomach. They're two missed paychecks from total collapse. Now step into the second apartment, same block, same price. Here you feel space breathing around you. A modest couch, a perfectly sized TV. The kitchen holds exactly the tools that actually get used. Closets contain only clothes that see regular rotation. And the spare bedroom? It's a real bedroom. This person checks their bank account with calm confidence. They've got 18 months of expenses saved and invest 20% of every paycheck. Same neighborhood. The person earning almost half as much has nearly 10 times the financial security. This isn't a story about income. It's a story about the hidden relationship between stuff and money that most people never understand. The first person isn't reckless or addicted to anything obvious. They just slowly built a lifestyle that devours every dollar they earn just to stay afloat. The second person discovered something that flipped the script. They learned that owning less doesn't mean living worse. It means living deliberately. And deliberate living creates the kind of financial margin most high earners can only dream about. Today, I'm walking you through the minimalist money rules that separate people who always have money from people who never do, regardless of income. These aren't about deprivation. They're about seeing that every single object you own carries ongoing costs you've probably never calculated. Let me start with a concept that will reframe how you think about every purchase you make for the rest of your life. Everything you own costs money twice. The first cost is obvious, the number on the receipt. But there's a second cost most people completely ignore, and it's often bigger than the first. That second cost includes storage, maintenance, mental energy, and opportunity cost. Take that treadmill gathering dust. It eats up 20 square feet of space, costing $600 to $1,000 a year in invisible rent. That boat in the driveway demands 10% of its value annually in upkeep, even unused. Every item steals attention, spikes stress, and locks up dollars that could grow in the market. Many possessions cost more to own than they did to buy. Minimalists run the real numbers and decide most items aren't worth it. Rule 1. Calculate cost per use before any purchase. Estimate realistic uses, divide total cost by that number. A $200 jacket worn twice costs $100 per wear. A $400 jacket worn 200 times costs $2. This math kills impulse buys instantly and reveals true winners like a $2,000 mattress at 55 cents per night. Rule 2. Apply the replacement test to everything you own. Ask, if this vanished today, would I buy it again? Most items fail. Fondue sets, dusty gadgets, unworn clothes. They survive only through inertia. Minimalists cut them ruthlessly. Sell, donate, trash. The relief is immediate. Rooms feel bigger, minds lighter. Rule 3. Never upgrade out of boredom. High earners swap working TVs, phones, and cars for shinier versions. These upgrades are wealth destruction. Minimalists replace only what truly fails. Over decades, this saves tens of thousands, often hundreds across categories. Rule 4. Create friction for spending and ease for saving. Remove saved cards. Enforce 24-hour waits. Delete shopping apps. Automate transfers to investments on payday. Systems beat willpower. The wait alone stops 70% of impulse buys. Rule 5. Count your possessions regularly. Tally shirts, kitchen tools, shoes. The shock stops mindless buying. Set maximums and use one in, one out rules. Friction prevents lifestyle creep. Rule 6. Rent or borrow before you buy. Test camping gear, tools, or kayaks first. It reveals if the passion is real and shows exactly what you need. No more garages of abandoned hobbies. Rule 7. Understand the lifestyle multiplier effect. One purchase triggers trailers, gear, insurance, storage. Minimalists calculate the full ecosystem cost. $5,000 often becomes $10,000 plus. Selling reverses it, wiping out whole expense categories. Rule 8. Define enough before you start earning more. Decide your ideal home, car, wardrobe in advance. Earn toward that fixed target. Extra income flows to savings instead of inflating lifestyle. Rule 9. Measure wealth by optionality, not accumulation. True wealth is freedom. Quit a bad job, take time off, start a business, retire early. The $200,000 earner spending $195,000 has none. The $80,000 earner spending $45,000 has it all. Every purchase trades options for objects. Rule 10. Practice cyclical decluttering rather than annual purging. Do weekly scans, monthly category reviews, quarterly checks. 3 items out weekly is sustainable. Awareness prevents buildup before it starts. Start today. This week, use the replacement test to remove 10 items. This month, enforce the 24-hour rule and watch urges vanish. This quarter, count 3 categories, set maximums, and define enough in writing. The transformation compounds. You own far less and save far more. The income-lifestyle gap becomes real wealth. Here's what nobody tells you. The relationship works both ways. Owning less builds money, but real financial strength makes owning less feel natural. Savings satisfy the security and status once chased through stuff. Spending less creates security. Security reduces emotional spending. The virtuous cycle accelerates. The opposite, spending everything, feeds insecurity and more buying. High earners in that trap build nothing. Modest earners in the good cycle build everything. These rules aren't about suffering. Research shows extra stuff adds almost nothing to happiness beyond basic comfort. Minimalists spend enough to feel good, then redirect the rest to freedom. They end up with less stuff and way more life. That second apartment, the $52,000 earner with 18 months saved, belongs to someone living these rules daily. They didn't need huge income, just clarity on what matters. The first? Someone who never questioned that more stuff equals better life. Both paths are open to you right now. The question is whether you want to own your possessions, or let your possessions own you. The math strongly favors the first choice. So does the peace of mind.